Hello everyone, I'm day weather meteorologist Don Day with your Public Lands Council weekly weather update for this June 10th, 2023. It's being brought to you by WSR Insurance Services Incorporated. Also being brought to you by Ag Risk Advisors. Well, here we are, a full week now, more than that, into the month of June, and it's really acted a lot like May in many areas. We're going to continue to see more showers and thunderstorms in the Rockies and the adjacent high plains to the Rockies. This means the areas that have been getting rain will get more. Now, there'll be a little bit more of an eastward shift in some of the moisture, so some needed rain for the western Corn Belt is going to be possible. The rain's getting a little bit further to the east, but what's interesting is that for another week, the rain, which has brought above average amounts of precipitation since mid-May, will continue to bring more rains to areas that are already wet, and we'll show you where. We're also expecting to go through the middle of June with no extreme heat anywhere in the west. It is going to be a little bit warmer than average in western Canada, maybe parts of Montana, the Dakotas, maybe relative to average a little warm, but nothing extreme. And the central and southern Rockies have been very cool to start June and will be cooler than average for another week. So basically, this is another forecast where it's more the same. Last week, we showed you a very similar map. Over the past week, since we talked to you last, this area here has been getting the rain. Look at Montana, Wyoming, Colorado, Kansas, down into the panhandles, eastern New Mexico. Lots of rain in those areas, even stretching back into Idaho, eastern Oregon, and the northern Great Basin. Now, there's been some rains, needed rains. They need more in this area here. And I think we'll see that picking up as we go forward. And if you look at the latest drought monitor, you can see that this area here continues to show improvement. Lots more white now. And in areas right here where drought has been the worst, they've been getting rain and will get more. This area has been growing, though, right here. And this will be a continued concern going into the summer season. Taking a look at the soil moisture anomaly, and you can see why we're concerned. The soil moisture deficit quite bad here, but look at this line right here. West of this line, conditions with the soil moisture anomaly have really improved. So the improvement in this area here this spring has been quite remarkable, but we're just seeing the dryness shifting more to the east while the west continues to be more moist. The soil moisture change in the last week is showing where the heaviest rains have fallen and where soil moisture profiles continue to improve in the green areas and get a little bit worse in those brown areas. In the last week, we talked about how cool it's been, and the contrast has been pretty amazing. It's the northern part of the U.S., relative to average, that's the warmest. Relative to average in the southern and southwest United States, it's been quite cool. And this is delaying this coolness, the summer monsoon thunderstorm pattern in Arizona and New Mexico at the moment, keeping it held back a little bit longer. Now, as we go into this forecast period, this is where we're going to be this weekend. We have what's called an omega block, where low pressure is stuck along the west coast and low pressure is stuck along the east coast. It looks like the Greek sign of omega. This will continue to pump moisture into the Rockies and into the plains. So along and near the divide, both east and west of the divide, this will be in active areas of showers and thunderstorms this weekend, stretching into early next week as this low will finally move by early next week eastward. And by next weekend, that omega block pattern is gone and it's a more westerly flow across the nation. So for those of you looking for a little bit of heat maybe to get things to grow a little bit better, it really won't be until late next week and next weekend before it really starts to warm up in some areas right now that are quite cool. This is what the precipitation looks like over the next week, and you can see there's that northwest to southeast axis that's still there. That area very persistently wet in late May and into early June, and that trend continues. We do see some of these Corn Belt areas getting into some rain, at least the western Corn Belt. Not much rain in North Dakota and up across the northern plains, and you can see the lack of thunderstorms. Down here is the summer monsoon, which usually is feeding thunderstorms into Mexico and the southwestern United States. That's not started yet. It's going to be delayed a few weeks. Have yourself a good week ahead. We'll see you next week.